sense enjoyment, but eventually they got cursed. So that's how sense enjoyment leads to a lot of distress actually, because by nature, spirit soul is meant to be servant of Krishna, but because of illusion, he is thinking himself to be master, or he is thinking himself to be enjoyer. So when in that way, the living entity becomes intoxicated by enjoyment, he invites more and more the sense enjoyment and this material happiness and material distress. They are the two sides of same coin. So now one may say, so I know that, now, okay, since beginning of ISKCON, we are our contact with devotees, we are knowing this, that sense gratification leads to misery, and since we are not supposed to be enjoyers, but we are supposed to be servants. But despite that, the tendency for enjoyment doesn't go away, isn't it? It remains, and that battle remains within the heart. On one side, the mind is telling, why don't you enjoy? After all, be practical. Enjoyment is something required in life. you know. So, see, whole world is enjoying. Why you are only depriving yourself of enjoyment? Like that mind tells. On intelligence level, intelligence says, no, no, material enjoyment is not, there, supposed to be there. I am supposed to be devotee. So I am supposed to serve Krishna. So in this way, there is always tug of war. And sometimes it may happen that as a devotee, we may get frustrated also. This is typically called as Vishaya Sangara. Vishaya means sense and objects, and Sangar means war or battle, struggle. So it is called as Vishaya Sangar. Means what? Heavy battle with objects of senses. Senses are pulling us, come, and we have to restrain our sense. No, no, no. It's not very pleasurable. Right? It's very painful. Because we also want actually. One sense we are attracted, isn't it? For example, suppose in college days we had some uh, vada pav wala, very favorite vada pav wala, tapri, jiska tapri tha ek. In cheap rate used to give very nice vada pav. So now after coming in Krishna consciousness, boys, we may not be able to eat that, right? So, or sometimes when we are in college, our mind may be pulling, अरे कोई देख नहीं रहा है, no reward is there around, see nobody is there, hey, friends ने force किया तो करना चाहिए क्या, what else can be done, like that. Who will pull? The senses will pull, but then intelligence says, no, no, you are a devotee, you know if you want to eat you may eat in Govindas, but here no, here, but ये बहुत अच्छा बनाता है, गोविंदा में इतना अच्छा नहीं बनता है, no, no, but still, now we are devotee. So we see it's like quite painful to the heart, very pinching to the heart, नहीं बोलना उसको, it's painful. So sometimes devotee may ask, कितने दिनों का कैसा चलेगा प्रभु जी? On one side there is, भक्ति में भी ऐसा भी टेस्ट नहीं आया कि we are floating in ecstasy. On the other hand, even here also there is some kind of, material taste has also not gone. So that we are like, sometimes we appear to be like stretched from all the sides, pulling from all the sides. So ये कब तक चलेगा? But Krishna is telling us the answer is little not such a good news. Answer is what? That Krishna is giving in 23rd verse. ये कब तक चलने वाला है? So let us discuss that. So please recite. Who is reciting? Ajit Prabhu?
हाँ
Yes.
ब्रो, हेलो हेलो,
Please recite.
आवाज आ रही? शक्नोति शक्नोति इह एव यः सोढुम्
शक्नोति
एव यः सोढुम्
प्राक्शरीराभिमुक्षणात्
शरीराविमुक्षणात्
कामक्रोधः उद्भावं वेगम्
कामक्रोधोद्भाववेगम्
स युक्ता स सुखी.
स युक्ता स सुखी नरः.
Translation: Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is well situated and he is happy in this world. Purport. If one wants to make steady progress on the path of self-realization, he must try to control the forces of the material senses. There are the forces of talk, forces of anger, forces of mind, forces of the stomach, forces of the genitals, and forces of the tongue. One who is able to control the forces of all these different senses and the mind is called Goswami or Swami. Such Goswamis live strictly controlled lives and forego altogether the forces of the senses. Material desires, when unsatiated, generate anger, and thus the mind, eyes, and chest become agitated. Therefore, one must practice to control them before one gives up this material body. One who can do this is understood to be self-realized and is thus happy in the state of self-realization. It is the duty of the transcendentalist to try strenuously to control desire and anger.
Hmm. So you got the news? Till what? Till what time we have to tolerate this? Till we are having this body. Till that time we have to tolerate. When Maya मुझे माया कब छोड़ेगी? You know, when Maya will give up on me? You know, is it that one day I will wake up liberated, free from all impediments, cured caused by mind and senses? एक दिन ऐसा रात को सो जाऊंगा as a conditioned soul. दूसरे दिन उठूंगा एकदम liberated soul. Will it ever happen? You know. So the answer is that sense attraction must be tolerated until death, until one's die. So then how is it possible that we remain fixed up by how we can remain continue then Krishna consciousness by remaining fixed up our by fixing up our consciousness on Krishna. When we fix up our consciousness on Krishna, then we get the power to tolerate this sense demands. So that power of tolerance comes by fixing our consciousness on Krishna on our own. Ekaki amar nahi paya bala harinama sankirtan. On our own, we have no strength to tolerate urges. These all urges which Prabhupada is mentioning, we don't have any power to tolerate them. But when we fix our consciousness on Krishna, then by Krishna's mercy, by Krishna's empowerment, it is possible to tolerate. So, yes, it seems to be a challenge, but a devotee also has to be like a warrior. Warrior means he always likes challenges, right? He is not a coward. He is a warrior. Real warrior means one who accepts challenges, like that. So this is a challenge to control mind and senses. Since so many lifetimes we have given in to mind and senses. Even in this life also we have just fulfilled the desires of mind and senses. But in order to tolerate that, it is a challenge. But we should accept that challenge. And how is it possible? From where we get strength? By focusing our consciousness on Krishna. So, three things which help us. One is, it is not that, of course, the next verse also speaks about it, but it is not that we don't get any pleasure. So, we have some pleasure of practicing devotional service also. That is one. Second, second is the conviction which comes that of previous verse, that the objects of this world are sources of misery and not of happiness. That conviction. So, and third is tolerance. These three things are important, which will help us to go on. First one is the joy which we derive, pleasure we derive by practicing Krishna consciousness. Second one is the conviction that the the objects of this world bring miseries and not happiness. And third one is tolerance. These three things can help us to go ahead and tolerate the pushings of body and mind. So, so that's why one of the very important aspect of bhakti is what? Tolerance and Sayyam also, control. Well, it is said to be one of the symptom of surrender also. Of course, not within 6, but still, Prabhupada writes in another place. There is patience. पेशेंस, धैर्य. सो धीरज रखना चाहिए थोड़ा. इट इज नॉट दैट भक्ति इज नॉट लाइक चट मंगनी पड़ गया तुरंत सब कुछ, like instant, instant pure devotee. Previously we were non devotees, suddenly एक injection लगा के हरि बोल pure devotee. That's not the way bhakti is. It's a gradual cultivation. When you sow a seed, what happens? It immediately comes out as a tree. That happens only with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He sowed mango seed and immediately tree came. Immediately the seeds, these flowers came, fruits came, everything came. Within 5 minutes, everything was ready. But that only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, it happens. But in general, trees, what we have to do? We have to sow the seed and then we have to be patient. ऐसा नहीं कि दूसरे दिन ही आता है. मैंगो को कितना दिन लगता है आने के लिए? I think some months it may be taking. Even the sapling to come, it takes good amount of time.
Mango tree gives fruit only in 1 season. Next day it will not.
Whatever, but even to grow it, it also takes some years, right? So one has to be patient. If we say नहीं, अरे क्या है? कल तो मैंने सीड बोला, अभी तक कुछ मिला नहीं रिजल्ट. आप तो बोले थे if you give मैंगो सीड आपको अच्छे मैंगोस खाने को मिलेंगे. कुछ नहीं मिल रहा इधर. क्या फायदा ये मैंगो सीड? It's all useless. Better I go to McDonald's. So it will not work that way, isn't it? So one has to be patient. Similarly, any disease we get, it's not that immediately everything is cured. So even if a patient has to be patient, right? When we are patient, then we have to be patient. If we are having disease, it takes some time. It doesn't go away. Some simple diseases may go away, but complicated diseases, my God, many of your experience also, right? You are taking medicines in so many years, still it is not going away. Then what about bhavarog? वो एक ये जन्म का नहीं है, कितने जन्म से एक्यूमुलेट किया है. तो ये जो इसका ये है, इसका अपना सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन का जो रोग है, वो जन्म जन्म से एक्यूमुलेट किया है. इतना तुरंत कैसे चला जाएगा? अट्रैक्शन जो है सेंस ऑब्जेक्ट के लिए. So we have to be tolerant and patient. So that's why Rupa Goswami mentions all these three things are simultaneously required. What are these three things? Utsaha, Nishchay, and Dhairya. If one is only having enthusiasm, but no faith and no patience, then one will get frustrated very easily. अरे कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, इतने दिनों से भक्ति कर रहा हूँ, इतने सालों से भक्ति कर रहा हूँ, कुछ नहीं हुआ. Where is love of Godhead? Where is Krishna? Where are tears? Where are hair standing on head? Nothing is happening. It's all doesn't work. That means he doesn't have any patience. But if we have only patience and utsaha but no faith, then also we will give up because faith is not there. When we think, see, I have been practicing enthusiastically, इतने साल हो गए, मैं राह भी देख रहा हूँ पर कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, means maybe this process itself is false. If you have only patience and only confidence, then what? We become lazy. भगवान है तो करेंगे, भगवान की इच्छा से ही सब कुछ होता है. तो भगवान भक्ति में बहुत शक्ति है. भगवान जब देंगे तब हो जाएगा. आप क्या कर रहे हैं? हम सो रहे हैं. Not like that. So all three things are simultaneously required while practicing Krishna consciousness. Saha, Nishchay, and Dhairya. So that's how one has to patiently tolerate the urges of material senses and the forces of desire and anger till we give up this body. Almost. So these 6 urges Prabhupada is mentioning, Vacho Vegam, Krodha Vegam. There are so many urges. But Prabhupada says that the duty of transcendentalists is to strenuously try to control desire and anger. Why Prabhupada uses the word strenuous?
It will require some force to
It
control.
will require some force. What requires some force?
Some heavy thing is there.
Control desire.
Means what? It is not that easy. To control desire and anger is not that easy, right? So that's why one has to strain. Strenuous means थोड़ा मेहनत करना पड़ेगा उसके लिए. So we have to strain ourselves a little bit to control it. Especially, of course, we are talking about unlawful desires, not lawful desires. because we cannot get rid of desires fully, but unlawful desires, especially in terms of this breaking for regulative principle or sinful activities, that desires we should try to strenuously control, because we have experience, right? When the desire overpowers us, it's very difficult to say no. It's like, we get haunted practically, that desire. Karna hi hai mujhe ye. We somehow or other want to do it only. It is like, although so much philosophy, like Ajamil, he knew all philosophy, he knew everything. He tried to recite shlokas, remember shloka also. He was so much carried by that desire to enjoy prostitute that he couldn't understand, what will be consequences. I have a very chaste wife, I have my parents, what society will think, what about my spiritual life, nothing he thought. So it was very difficult. So that's why that strain, one has to strain oneself, means one has to little bit exert oneself in order to control that. And similarly, anger also. Durvasa, how much knowledge he has. He's a great mystic yogi. He has such a power that he can travel up to Vaikuntha also, but he couldn't control his anger, isn't it? So in this way, one has to strenuously control. So when material desires, they are unsatiated, they create anger, isn't it? When they are satisfied, they create greed. When they are not satisfied, then they create anger. So, and Prabhupada is writing what? This anger is manifested in mind. How? How? Frustration comes. What else comes? In the mind. Anger, when we are angry, what happens to mind? Mind stops working. Okay.
It wants
Huh?
to do
What?
Intelligence gets destroyed.
Okay, intelligence
calculates.
gets destroyed also. We don't know also. क्या कर रहा हूँ मैं? What am I doing that? That also one doesn't understand. Correct. Huh?
Flickery.
Mind becomes flickery. Mind becomes very agitated, isn't it? If all the time we are just thinking, how I am going to trouble that person now. Even in chanting, even in working, in everything, mind is all the time just proposing us. अभी उसको ऐसा पिटाई करूंगा, अभी उसको ऐसे करूंगा, ऐसा करूंगा, ऐसा करूंगा. He has done like this, So whole mind's energy gets diverted. Then it manifests in the eyes also. How? Eyes become red, isn't it? Sometimes tears also come from eyes, out of anger, isn't it? And then chest. What happens to chest? Yeah, we breathe very fast, अभी मारूंगा उसको, like that. So you see our chest also becomes agitated. So that's what Prabhupada is mentioning. So Prabhupada is saying that one must learn to tolerate all these things, desire, anger, and other urges before one gives up this material body. So that is the test of our success. Success is when we will be able to control this. We will be able to successfully control before we give up this body. नहीं तो और एक body लेना पड़ेगा. If you don't control, then we will have to take one more body. But more than that, Prabhupada gives a reason. Why should we do so? To make steady progress on spiritual path and achieve
Krishna? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Your voice went away. One second, bro.
So, and then what will happen if we try to control this? Then we'll make steady progress on spiritual path and achieve transcendental bliss. where we have to translate. In chat something is there. Nayan two. Now audio is coming. Nayan is asking question that how to understand in the last line along with desires, anger is mentioned and not lust, pride or envy. Why only anger? Desire and lust is same only. Desire and lust, these two things are synonymous. Lust doesn't mean only sexual life. Lust means any lust for anything. It's not only sex. Sex is the topmost degree of desire or lust, we can say. But desire also includes lusting for. So greed also is desire, greed, lust. These are all similar. Only different degrees are there. Lust means desire means what? कुछ तो इच्छा है ऐसा एक it's a like in a subtle form इच्छा is there, but then lust is means I must have it, that is lust, and greed means I want it more, I want it more, I want it more, that is greed. So these are different degrees of the same this thing. Okay, so why we should tolerate while making the higher cause, the cause for tolerating all these things is making progress on spiritual path and attaining transcendental bliss. So कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ता है. तो अगर हमको ये चाहिए, spiritual progress चाहिए, transcendental bliss चाहिए, so we have to tolerate urges. Now, but one should not think अरे बाप रे तो फिर क्यों spiritual life practice करने का, इतना so much trouble is there, means कुछ नहीं मिला क्या क्या? What is my life? Only struggle, whole life simply keep struggling. कि mind इधर pull करते रहेगा, intelligence उधर pull करते रहेगा. Is this a life I should take up in my life ahead? सिर्फ struggle करते रहो, सिर्फ हमेशा अपना वही struggle. Is that a life I want to get in? I want joy also in life. Will I not get anything in my life for myself? No joy, no happiness. So for that the answer comes in next verse. So please recite 24th verse. Saurabh Prabhu. Saurabh Prabhu.
Saurabh Jadapur, you're there? Bro, anyone amongst you can read this.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, bro. Go ahead.
Sorry, bro. The network issue was there. Okay. Yonta Sukhontaramascha.
Yonta Sukhontaramascha.
Tatantara Jyotir Evaya.
Tathantara
ज्योतिरेवयः
Sayogi Brahma Nirvanam.
योगी ब्रह्म निर्वाणम्
Brahma Bhuto Digachati.
ब्रह्मभूतिर्दिगच्छति.
Translation. One whose happiness is within, who is active and rejoices within, and whose aim is inward is actually the perfect mystic. He is liberated in the Supreme, and ultimately he attains the Supreme purpose. Unless one is able to release happiness from within, how can one retire from the external engagements meant for deriving superficial happiness? A liberated person enjoys happiness by factual experience. He can therefore sit silently at any place and enjoy the activities of life from within. Such a liberated person no longer desires external material happiness. This state is called Brahmabhuta, attaining which one is assured of going back to Godhead, back to home.
Yeah. So here he is telling, don't think that your life is only going to be a life of struggle as a devotee. But actually there is great joy. What is that? The joy which is there within. one's heart. That joy a devotee experiences. So, two things here Prabhupada is saying that one must develop a higher taste. It is urgent. Hmm. So, we should develop higher taste in devotional service. Of course, higher taste, we generally think that means prasadam. Govinda is the higher taste. They write. So that is one type of higher taste. But there are many more higher tastes also. So actually, devotee should have some things which really gives him great joy. Some for some devotees, maybe just singing kirtans for long, long hours, it gives him great joy. For devotees, other devotees, it may be doing preaching, maybe going them joy. For some devotee, maybe it is dancing. For some devotee, it may be reading. For some devotee, it may be dirty dressings. For some devotees, it may be maybe management. you know. So maybe only few people have this rasa, I think. Management rasa. you know. Huh? Acha. Acha. Yeah, some devotees have that also. Little management rasa they get. Some devotees get even joy in this thing. So all of us should have some joy which we derive in Krishna consciousness, unless and until, as Prabhupada is writing, by factual experience. तो जब तक हम वो joy खुद experience नहीं करते, till that time, we cannot actually become fixed in Krishna consciousness. So we have to experience some joy. But then how do we get that joy? By hearing, by chanting, by good association. By that actually one becomes entitled to the higher taste. And then one becomes, one is able to tolerate the urges. One is able to tolerate these urges of senses. So over the period of time so on one side we have to be patient, because it is not going to happen within few years. So don't think that, although the pull of senses will reduce certainly to some extent, is the struggle keeps on reducing. That is true also, because in the beginning there is a heavy battle with senses. Slowly the senses subdue also, or subsided also. That's a good thing happens, but they don't go away totally. So whole life we will have to tolerate to certain extent or another. Like Yamunacharya in previous one, he had told, Yadivadi Madhava Cheta Krishna Padaravinde Navanasam. Tadavadi Bata Nari Smarana Nari Smarana Sangama Smaraya Mane. So that means he also gets, even a great devotee like him is also getting thoughts like that. But then he has the power to say no. Why? Because of higher taste. He has power to say no.
Here, can we say that sometimes like Vaishnava songs, we see that whatever is placing there immediately. So we say that it's not for them, it's for us.
Yeah, as such.
How we can say that in case of Yamunacharya?
Yeah, he's asking question that sometimes, acharyas, when they write, they are writing for us, not for themselves. Very true. But it may not be case with Yamunacharya himself, but sometimes even advanced devotees also get thoughts. It is not that. So because pure devotee is not like pure devotees is like ultimate, fully pure devotee is like ultimate term. But in between there are many stages of devotional service. Somebody may be very advanced also, still he may get some thoughts, he may get some desires and all. It can happen. Like Bharat Maharaj, so advanced he was. Still he got that desire and all that. Even Ajamila was quite advanced. If we see what were his qualities, we think, "Arey, मैं तो कुछ भी नहीं हूँ इसमें से." I don't have any of these things. So they, person even in advanced stage may get. So but he is able to control because of, higher taste. Because of higher taste. So that is a Brahma Bhuta stage. But is what? Enjoy happiness by factual experience within. Actually, the happiness is not without, it is within. How is this within? How the happiness is within? हाँ, soul is by nature happy. तो ऐसा नहीं कि हमको artificially कुछ तो डालना है soul में जिसके happy हो जाएगा वो, right? The soul is by nature very happy. So we have to just brush up our, contaminations or coverings. Then we'll be actually happy, because soul by nature is very full of joy, full of ecstasy. Only due to material coverings, he is thinking that he is suffering. Just like a person, he is sleeping. In the dream, you know, in the dream, he's something wrong is happening with him, and he's suffering. But there is no actual suffering for him. So mm, as that verse says, या सम्मोहितो जीव आत्मानं त्रिगुणात्मकं करोति मनुते नर्थम तत्कृतं चाभिपद्यते. Hmm. So although these miseries are superfluous means they don't actually living entity never suffers, but it is only due to accepting this material covering that we are suffering. So real happiness within means what? Finding happiness in our spiritual identity. Any other answer?
Actually, we are not in a actual state.
Hmm.
So that's why we are not
Yeah.
I could use this ice and water example.
I said.
Water example. Prabhupada is that natural form of water is liquid.
Okay.
And when it reaches to ice, it is unnatural. So when because it's an like naimistic, due to some circumstances, this has
Correct. Yeah. So it's in a, because we are unhappy because we are in an unnatural state. Like fish is out of water, is unnatural state, so he's unhappy. Like if we get into water, for some time it is joy, but afterwards we'll start suffering there, isn't it? Or we sit in the aeroplane also. पहले पहले बहुत अच्छा लगता है, बाद में बहुत suffering होता है. अरे कितना देर कितना कब ये land होगा aeroplane, we feel like it, because that's not our natural state to be in air. The same way, because we are in unnatural state, so we are unhappy. But when we get situated in our natural state, what is that natural state? In the service of Krishna, then we become happy. Yeah, that is also. Any other answer? What do you mean by find happiness within? Who is source of happiness? Where is he? Within our own heart. So why we are not experiencing happiness? We are not looking towards him only. He's ready to give us, take. He's the source of heart. He's Ananda Kanda, he's the source of all joy. He is ecstatic, always blissful. But because we don't go to him, so we are suffering. So that's why finding happiness means finding happiness in our identity as pure spirit soul, transcendental to this material world. Happiness means to find the happiness in the natural settings for a soul, that is in service to Krishna. And finding happiness means finding happiness in Krishna. Isn't it such a great joy to understand that Supreme Lord is there next to me always? As Radhanath Maharaj says, you have your personal private Paramatma. You have your private Paramatma with you. Super soul is there. So it's a great thing. Na? Today only Maharaj also was telling in the class. Just imagine if you get some letter or some photo with Prime Minister or something like that. How much joy you will feel. Arey, we'll put it in big, frame and put it in the wall. See, I had an interview with Prime Minister of India or whatever, America. Krishna is personally there with us, isn't it? So it is only due to illusion that we are suffering. So that's why we have to become what these terms are: centrifugal and centripetal. What means centrifugal? Outside. So we should become centripetal, right? Not centrifugal. Centripetal means so we should try to get happiness from inside and not from external things, because external things anyways cannot give us much happiness. So person who is happy within, whatever may be external, he'll be happy. And person who is unhappy within, whatever may be external, he'll be unhappy only. That will be the thing. So that's why learn to find happiness within our own heart. That's an important concept of spiritual life actually. Okay, next verse. लभन्ते ब्रह्म निर्वाणं क्षीणकल्मषः छिन्नद्वैधायतात्मानः सर्वभूतहिते रताः.
Those who are beyond the dualities that arise from doubts, whose minds are engaged within, who are always busy working for the welfare of all living beings, and who are free from all sins, achieve liberation in the Supreme. But only a person who is fully in Krishna consciousness can be said to be engaged in welfare work for all living entities. When a person is actually in the knowledge that Krishna is the fountainhead of everything, then when he acts in that spirit, he acts for everyone. The sufferings of humanity are due to forgetfulness of Krishna as the supreme enjoyer, the supreme proprietor, and the supreme friend. Therefore, to act to revive this consciousness within the entire human society is the highest welfare work. One cannot be engaged in such first-class welfare work without being liberated in the Supreme. A Krishna-conscious person has no doubt about the supremacy of Krishna. He has no doubt because he is completely free from all sins. This is the state of divine love. A person engaged only in ministering to the physical welfare of human society cannot actually help anyone. Temporary relief of the external body and the mind is not satisfactory. The real cause of one's difficulties in the hard struggle for life may be found in one's forgetfulness of his relationship with the Supreme Lord. When a man is fully conscious of his relationship with Krishna, he is actually a liberated soul, although he may be in the material tabernacle.
So, this verse number 24, it described about Brahma Bhuta stage. Brahma Bhuta stage means one who is delighting in spiritual happiness. That is called as Brahma Bhuta stage, or is acting on a spiritual platform. So, but currently conditioned souls are Jiva Bhuta stage. Jiva Bhuta means those who are delighting in material platform. That is called as Jiva Bhuta. So, now this verse, 25th verse, is describing about what is sadhana required for attaining this kind of Brahma Bhuta stage. What are the qualifications? What is required? So Krishna is giving Kshina Kalmashaha, free from all the contaminations. Chinna Dvaidha means all dualities, free from all dualities, not getting affected by the dualities. Yatatmanaha means what? Engaged, with determination. Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha means always doing welfare activities for others. These are the qualities required. So, so in the purport, Prabhupada is explaining that what is the highest welfare work? What is the highest welfare work? Is to revive the forgetfulness of Krishna, being the supreme enjoyer, proprietor, and well-wisher. That is the highest welfare work. So many people try to cure other people by diseases, or they want to give food, but all these problems can be solved actually by bringing the person to Krishna, isn't it? Just like the lost child, he can be given food, he can be given clothes, he can be given medicines, everything, but that will not completely make him happy. But as soon as he gets connected to Krishna, automatically food problem is solved, clothing problem is solved, medicine problem is solved, all problems are solved, isn't it? So that's how this is one stroke method. Similarly, when one is connected to Krishna, is it that Krishna will not take care? Krishna will maintain, not maintain the person? Krishna is the real maintainer. Ultimate maintainer is Krishna only for everyone. So only what is required is that a devotee should be connected to Krishna. When one is connected to Krishna, then automatically all other welfare work is done. So that's how, highest welfare work is actually somebody bringing somebody to his eternal father. Just like the welfare for a child is to bring back him to his father, so the welfare for any jiva, any living entity, is to bring to his eternal father, that is Krishna, and revive his forgetfulness. So person who is suffering in the dream, what is best welfare for him? Fan him, wake him up. Hey, why you are crying? He say, oh, I got a dream. Oh, don't worry, this dream, now you are awake. See, there is no problem around, isn't it? Sometimes you may get a dream that I failed in exam, isn't it? So what is best welfare for him? Wake up, wake him up. Prabhu, you are topper, you are not failed. Oh really? So nice. I thought, I got a dream that I failed only in exam. No, you are topper. Don't worry. So just same way, why we are suffering, because we are forgetting Krishna. So just by reviving somebody's dormant Krishna consciousness, that is the highest welfare work, make the person understand that Krishna is supreme enjoyer, Krishna is supreme proprietor, Krishna is supreme well-wisher. So, but Prabhupada says that one cannot engage in such welfare without being himself liberated in the Supreme. Therefore, only fully Krishna conscious person, he can only do such welfare. Krishna Shakti vina nahe tara pravartan. Unless until person is himself practicing Krishna consciousness, he cannot do welfare, because he will not have that faith. Because actually, what is preaching? Preaching is basically, or welfare is basically transfer of the faith. So when we believe that Krishna is the most important friend, unless until we believe it, we cannot give it to others, isn't it? So that's why devotees, two-way process. One is that he himself has to be Krishna conscious, and then he has to try to give Krishna consciousness to others. Both are required. On the other hand, what is the imperfect understanding of welfare activities? That is physical welfare, because they give simply temporary relief. So Loknath Maharaj was once telling that, Adi Pothoba Mag Vithoba, people say. But pot kadi bharatas nahi. You give food one day, next day again he will come. Please give food. Then, because he was telling, food always gets emptied. There is one way by which food gets emptied in our life. Not every day, every few hours, right? And then again you put food, again it is empty. He will come next day, he will come third day, he will come after 1 month. Even whole life you support, again next day he will come, give food. Isn't it? So in this way, first Vithoba, that is very important. Of course, and along with Vithoba, Potoba also happens. That doesn't go away. Means what, when we worship Lord, it is not that worship of Lord is only theoretical thing. It includes taking prasadam also. Isn't it? Lord gives us Krishna prasadam also. Lord will provide everything. So, this our Kamal Lochan Prabhu, once he said that he had doubt that really Krishna provides or not. He wanted to test. So one day he decided that he was in Jagannath Puri, and there Jagannath Puri Pandas were saying that Krishna takes care of everyone. Nobody remains hungry in Jagannath Puri, he was telling, because Krishna personally feeds. He said, okay, let me test. So one day, he decided that I'll fast Jagannath Puri. I'll not eat any prasad. Let us see. And पूरा किया दिन भर शाम तक रात तक उन्होंने फास्टिंग किया, and he was very happy. Echo successful, I have proved this to be false. See, if I don't want, I cannot get food eat. I'm fasting. And then just night 10 o'clock, he was about to sleep. 2-3 pandas were coming on the road, and they called him. Hey, come. And he said, I have no money. I'm brahmachari. He said, पैसा नहीं, तुमको प्रसाद देना है, प्रसाद खाओ. And उनको थोड़ा हो गया अभी, अरे भगवान ने प्रसाद भेज दिया. He said, ठीक है. He took it. He thought, okay, I'll be very smart. He took it and he was walking. बोले नहीं, ऐसा नहीं चलेगा, इधर तुरंत हमारे सामने खाना पड़ेगा. फिर से नहीं, मैं बाद में खा लूंगा. नहीं, अभी खाना पड़ेगा. जगन्नाथ प्रसाद का अपमान कैसे कर सकते हो तुम? नहीं खा रहे प्रसाद. तो 3 पंडा, मोटे मोटे पंडा थे बोले, और तीनों उनको पकड़ के रखा, अभी तुरंत खाओ, हमारे सामने खाना ही पड़ेगा. And then finally he had to eat, and then he accepted, surrendered to Lord. He said, yes, Lord, I got defeated. So it is not that, if somebody surrenders to Krishna, he will have to fast or something like that. So Potoba and other, Dawai, everything will come automatically, isn't it? So, so people are not understanding in the world that the real difficulty is because people are forgetful of Krishna. Because of that, they are crying. So just like the child is forgetful of father, however you may give, his crying cannot, it may temporarily alleviate, but it cannot give him any permanent solution. Similarly, unless until person gets connected to Krishna, by other welfare activities, one may give some temporary satisfaction, but it cannot bring ultimate pleasure to anybody. Like in Mumbai or somewhere, what they did, government, they supplied flats to all. They said nobody should stay in Jhopatpatti, nobody should stay in slums, and then they gave flats to everyone, that you stay in flats. But then what happened after 1 year when they came to survey? They had given flats on rent. They shifted back to झोपड़पट्टी and same, क्योंकि पूरा फ्लैट का पैसा जो रेंट में आता है वो किधर जाता था? पीने में, वो पीने में जाता था। तो सफरिंग कुछ चेंज हुआ ही नहीं, सफरिंग वही रहा। वो जो माता जी सफरिंग कर रही थी, बेचारा हस्बैंड आके रोज पी के मारता था उसको, उसका सफरिंग वैसे ही रहा। वो लोग पी रहा था, उसका भी सफरिंग वैसे ही रहा, कुछ चेंज नहीं हुआ। So it is not the material facilities which can help a person, the change of consciousness which can help a person. The change of consciousness, the right knowledge, that can actually help a person in his life. That is the most important thing. That's why these alcohol synonymous organizations, they also always give a, apart from their medicines and their treatments, they always call for a spiritualist, and they tell that you take help from the spiritualist also, because spiritualist can give you real knowledge of why you should not, drink, why you should not be addicted to this. He can give nice sermons, so they call them also. Now this, after reading these verses 24 and 25, we may think that my God, achieving liberation is so difficult. क्या क्या क्वालिफिकेशंस है, क्या क्या आउटवर्ड कुछ नहीं, इनवर्ड कुछ तो बोल रहे हैं। इनवर्ड हैप्पीनेस लेना है, और इतने सारे क्वालिफिकेशंस लगते हैं, everything seems to be very difficult, isn't it? So one may get discouraged. And ultimately, this verse, 24th verse, Prabhupada's translation uses the word ultimately. Ultimately means what? The result is not going to come quickly. It is going to come in far end. It is not quickly achieved. Similarly, the qualities mentioned in this 25th verse, they are also very rarely found, isn't it? This China, what is that? Shina Kalmashaha, free from all this thing, all sins, Chinda Dvendvaha, free from all dualities, Yata Atmanaha, engage always in self-realization, and Sarvabhuta Hite Rataha, always engage in others' welfare. These seem to be very difficult qualities. They are not very easily found. But now, next verse, Krishna gives some assurances also. So Krishna is expert counselor. He knows that, थोड़ा पिटाई भी करना है, उसके बाद थोड़ा मलम पट्टी भी करना है. So Krishna is doing malam patti now in 26. So he's a little bit assuring, don't worry, like that. So please recite questions.
Here, what is the meaning of liberation in the Supreme and liberated in Supreme?
Liberated in Supreme means going back to Godhead. Supreme is going back to Godhead. Parampadam. Parampadam is back to Godhead.
So here, in translation, Prabhupada is saying he is liberated in the Supreme. Second one.
Yeah. See, liberated in Supreme. See, there is one physical going back to Godhead. Another is that consciousness is situated in back to Godhead. What is basically liberation? Liberation is not necessarily mean we physically go back to Godhead. Even though somebody may be in material world, but if he is always thinking of Krishna, he is liberated. That is called a Jivan Mukta. He is already liberated. So he's not of this material world, although he may be within material world, but he is not of this material world. He just liberated, isn't it? He just, for example, somebody is sitting in the class, but college, but he is always thinking about his home. Where is he? He is at home actually. He is not in the class. तो क्लास में क्या चल रहा है उसको कुछ समझ में भी नहीं आता है, कुछ अफेक्ट भी नहीं होता है, कुछ नहीं. क्लास में जोक भी मारेगा कोई तो उसको हंसेगा नहीं, कोई क्लास में थोड़ा mischievous activities करेगा उसको कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, because he is thinking about his home all the time. So where is he actually? He is in home. He is not in the class. Maybe physically. Maybe the person, he may be in material world, but his consciousness is merged in Supreme. That means he is in spiritual world actually. He is not in material world actually. Okay, 26th verse. Prasad Prabhu. Kam Kodha Vimuktana.
यतीना यतचेतसाम्
Yatina Yatasedvasam.
अभितो ब्रह्म निर्वाणम्
Abhito Brahma Nirvanam.
वर्तते विदितात्मनाम्
Vartate Viditatmana.
those translation Those who are free from anger and all material desires, who are self-realized, self-disciplined, and constantly endeavoring for perfection, are assured liberation in the Supreme in the very near future. Of the saintly persons who are constantly engaged in striving towards salvation, one who is Krishna conscious is of all. In the Bhagavad Gita confirms this fact as follows. Yatpada pankaj पालश विलास भक्त्या कर्मशा गृहीतं उद्गृहीतान् सन्तः तद्वं नर्ता मतयो यतो विरुद्धः श्रुतो गुणास्तं अरणं भज वासुदेवम्. Just try to worship in devotional service Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even great sages are not able to control the forces of the senses as effectively as those who are engaged in transcendental bliss by serving the lotus feet of the Lord, uprooting the deep grown desire for fruitive activities. In the conditioned soul, the desire to enjoy the fruitive result of work is so deep rooted that it is very difficult even for the great sages to control such desires, despite great endeavors. A devotee of the Lord, constantly engaged in devotional service in Krishna consciousness, perfect in self realization, very quickly attains the liberation in the Supreme. Owing to his complete knowledge in self realization, he always remains in trance. To cite an analogous example of this, darshanam dhyana samsarashe matsya kurma vihanga vihangama swani apatani ushnanti tataham api padmaja. By vision, by meditation, and by touch, only do the fish, the tortoise, and the birds maintain their offsprings. Similarly, do I also, O Padmaja. The fish brings up its offspring simply by looking at them. The tortoise brings up its offspring land, and the tortoise meditates on the eggs while in the water. Similarly, the devotee in Krishna consciousness, although far away from the wood, can elevate himself to that abode simply by thinking of him constantly. By engagement in Krishna consciousness, he does not feel the pangs of material miseries. This state of life is called Brahma Nirvana, or the absence of material miseries due to being constantly immersed in the Supreme.
Hmm. So now Krishna is giving assurance, don't worry. Hmm. अभी तो अभी तो यानी अभी हो जाएगा. Like that, saying very soon. Hmm. So in purport, Prabhupada is writing that in general, for any other transcendental, it is very difficult to attain that platform of self-realization. But for devotee, it is not that difficult. It is assured. Very soon he will attain that. One who is always endeavoring for perfection, for him, by thinking about Krishna and by serving Krishna, very soon he will attain liberation. In very near future, he will attain liberation. This assurance Krishna gives. So this whole thing, what we discussed, it is very difficult for other transcendentalists, but for Bhakti Yogi, this is not so difficult. It is quite easy. So one is assured of liberation by being free from anger and of all material desires, by being self-satisfied, self-disciplined, and constantly endeavoring for perfection. So that's why Krishna conscious devotee is the best of all salvationists, as Prabhupada is quoting from 4th canto. That yat pada pankaja palasha vilasa bhaktya karmashayam rita udgrathayanti santaha. You know, that for those who are taking shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, you know what happens? ग्रंथि जो है कर्माशय ग्रंथि, कर्म का जो ग्रंथि है, कार्मिक रिएक्शंस का ग्रंथि, very soon they are cut to pieces. Tadvanda rikta matayo yatayopi ruddha. And also one can be freed from, one can become, yeah, there's uprooting deep grown desires for fruity activities. Hmm? Yeah, rikta mataya means what? Tadvanna rikta matayo yatayopi ruddha shoto ganastha aranam bhaja vasudevam. Shoto ganas means those who are even great sages. Hmm? You know, they although may be very advanced, but they are not able to control the forces of such senses. It's not very easy, but it becomes easy by devotional service. It becomes same thing becomes very easy. So that's the glory of the process which we are given by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, that it is we can easily overcome the panges of material existence, the knot of karmic reactions by practicing devotional service to the Lord. That's why Krishna says that Krishna conscious person is the best of all salvationists. Prabhupada is writing. So such a person, he gives this another verse. I don't know where it is exactly from. You know, this Darshana Dhyana Sansparsha verse. So Darshana means this fish, how he takes care of his babies? Just by meditating. Seeing, yeah, seeing. No, just by keeping an eye, he takes care. Then Dhyana, tortoise, he takes care of babies by meditating. So babies of the tortoise are in ocean and the tortoise himself is in shore. But he just meditates and they are taken care. Or opposite, whatever. Opposite. Tortoise is in ocean, babies are on the shore. But he meditates and that's how they are taken care. How, don't ask me. That you ask tortoise only. You go and ask him, how do you take care of this? How to do Prabhuji? You know, because I am not a tortoise to tell you that. That is written, so I am telling you. And Sansparshai, you know, birds, how they take care? By putting their children by their sparsha under the wings. So in this way, similarly, devotee who may be very far away from the Lord's abode, but he can elevate himself to that abode simply by thinking of the Lord constantly, or seeing the deity form of the Lord, or by his engagement in the service of the Lord. By these ways, one can be liberated. You know, even though we may be far away in material world, you know, lying in this material world, but still, by these three things, by taking darshan of the Lord, of the deity form, and by meditating, thinking about the Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, and by engaging in various services, that is like touching the Lord. You know, is basically engaging in various services, one can be liberated. So that is, one can attain that Brahma Nirvana stage, which even yogis very difficult for them to attain, but one can attain simply by, you know, by devotional service. So that's why Prabhupada would say that there is a hard way, the simple way, but those who are not so intelligent, they will always take a hard way. The simple way is a devotional service. So Brahma Nirvana stage is what? That is the stage of absence of all material miseries because of being constantly immersed in Supreme. Basically, somebody always thinks of Krishna means that is Brahma Nirvana. You know, simple terms. See, these yogis and all Gyanis, they'll use big terms, complex. You know, Brahma Nirvana, obtain karna and all that. Sometimes one may think, kya hai Baba, ye Brahma Nirvana ho gaye. What is Brahma Nirvana? Kirtaniya Sadahari. That is Brahma Nirvana stage. Always chant Hare Krishna. You know, always think of Krishna. Manmana Bhavamak Dvatto. This is also Brahma Nirvana stage. But their Brahma Nirvana is very difficult because to think of nothing is very difficult, right? How many of you can think of nothing? Or you can just think of light? All the time think of light. How difficult it is. But isn't it easier to think of Krishna? Form, deities is more easy than that, isn't it? So that's why their Brahma Nirvana is very difficult process, you know, for them. But same Brahma Nirvana, because who is personified Brahman? That is Krishna only. Para Brahma, he is Sakshat Brahman himself. So we think of Krishna, we are in the same result, you know, like that. So that's how, no, Prabhupada always used to say, there is an elevator method and there is a step-by-step method. So devotees should go by elevator method, you know, and whereas these yogis, jnanis, they go step-by-step method. So sometimes we may feel very impressed. Oh, these yogis, jnanis, they are doing so much tapasya, this, that, you know, they must be very great. But actually, a devotee simply by offering little lotus leaf, little leaf or flower to Krishna, he attains the same stage, you know, which the yogis are attaining after thousands of years of tapasya. Just भगवान के चरण में थोड़ा तुलसी अर्पण करो, just भगवान को थोड़ा सेवा करो, उससे भी वो ब्रह्म निर्वाण स्टेज आ जाता है. That's the glory of devotional service. Okay, so we have completed this section now. As far as I understand. No, no, one more, two more verses are there in this section. Okay, go ahead.
4 verses.
Till 28th. It is, this section is till 28th. Section. 27th verse.
Yes, 2 more for chapter finish.
Huh?
2 more for chapter finish.
Who is reciting 27th verse? Kiran Prabhu?
Mr. Jatan, bro, you're there?
Yes, Praji. Yes, Praji, I'm here. Can you change the this thing, bro? Screen?
27th. Yeah.
Yeah. Sparshan kritva bahyam.
Sparshan putra bahir bhahyams.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible, Praji?
Yes. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Krishna Chaitanya, you are
Chakshush
audible.
chain van chain. Yes, Praji. Chakshush chain vantare bhruvo.
Chakshushchaivaantare bhruvoh.
Pranapanau samakritva.
Pranapanau samo krutva.
Nasabhyantaracharino.
Nasabhyantaracharinav. Everyone next also.
Yes,
28.
Praji. Yatendriyam mano buddhir.
Yatendriya mano buddhir.
Munir moksha paranyana.
Munir moksha parayanaha.
Vigate cha bhaya krodho.
Vigate cha bhaya krodho.
Yasada mukta evasam.
Yasada mukta eva saha.
Translation: shutting out all external sense objects, keeping the eyes and vision concentrated. Roji, that window is coming.
Yeah, I'm able to see myself.
Concentrated between the two eyebrows, suspending the inward and outward breaths within the nostrils, and thus controlling the mind, senses, and intelligence, the transcendentalist aiming at liberation becomes free from desire, fear, and anger. One who is always in this state is certainly liberated. Purport: being engaged in Krishna consciousness, one can immediately understand one's spiritual identity, and then one can understand the Supreme Lord by means of devotional service. When one is well situated in devotional service, one comes to the transcendental position, qualified to feel the presence of the Lord in the sphere of one's activity. This particular position is called liberation in the Supreme. After explaining the above principles of liberation in the Supreme, the Lord gives instruction to Arjuna as to how one can come to that position by the practice of mysticism or yoga known as Ashtanga Yoga, which is divisible into eightfold procedure called Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi. In the sixth chapter of the subject of yoga is explicitly detailed and at the end of the fifth it is only preliminarily explained. One has to drive out the sense objects such as sound, touch, form, taste, and smell by the pratyahara process in yoga, and then keep the vision of the eyes between the two eyebrows and concentrate on the tip of the nose which with half closed lids. There is no benefit in closing the eyes altogether because then there is every chance of falling asleep. Nor is there benefit in opening the eyes completely because then there is a hazard of being attracted by sense objects. The breathing movement is restrained within the nostrils by neutralizing the up moving and down moving air within the body. By practice of such yoga, one is able to gain control over the senses, refrain from outward sense objects, and thus prepare oneself for liberation in the Supreme. The yoga process helps one become free from all kinds of fear and anger and thus feel the presence of the super soul in the transcendental situation. In other words, Krishna consciousness is the easiest process of executing yoga principles. This will be thoroughly explained in the next chapter. A Krishna conscious person, however, being always engaged in devotional service, does not risk losing his senses to some other engagement. This is a better way of controlling senses than by Ashtanga Yoga.
So one more thing of previous verse. So that about fish, tortoise, and bird, it was coming. So Prabhupada gives a explanation that a devotee, he can meditate on the Lord by these ways. Hmm. Although he may be away in the material world, still he can meditate on the Lord by thinking about Him, by seeing His deity form of the Lord, or by engaging in devotional service. Baladev Vidyabhushan gives another side of it. He says a devotee who endeavors for perfection, to control his kama, krodha, he tries for self-realization. Lord takes care of the devotee in this way, because Lord is super soul in the heart. So Lord takes care. How Lord takes care? He personally gives his own darshan to devotees in the form of deities. He comes in the form of deities and attracts the heart of devotees. Then Lord is meditating on devotee also, that how to deliver him, you know. And also Lord also touches devotee. How he touches devotee? To the various devotional paraphernalia and through the medium of devotees, other devotees. So in this way, Lord also touches the devotees. So in this way, Baldev Vidyabhushan puts it in another way, that because devotee is endeavoring so much, so Lord is also very concerned about it, and the Lord touches the devotees in all these various ways. And that's how basically when a devotee is engaged in a endeavor for self-realization, for progressing in Krishna consciousness, Lord also becomes merciful. So devotee invokes Lord's mercy, and then he helps the devotee also to go to him. So it is not that Lord is just neutrally sitting. आप करते रहो, जब perfection होगा तब मैं देख लूंगा आपको, तब तक आप आपका देखो. Not like that. The Lord is also equally active and involved. So devotee is coming, Lord, Lord, and Lord is come, like that. Both ways it is happening, you know. So just like somebody is fallen into a well, so that person may be trying, and the person from top also, he is also pulling him. So both way endeavor is going on. So from our side endeavor is going on, it invites endeavor from Lord's side also to pull us up and to take us back to God. That's the biggest relief, I think, so for us, that Lord is also endeavoring, because his endeavors will be surely become successful. Whether our endeavors become successful or not, if Lord's endeavors are there, they will surely become successful. Like that. Now, in this, actually till now Krishna, he completes this Karma Yoga section. So he has completed now description of Karma Yoga, how one can attain perfection by working in devotion with the Lord. By working in devotion to the Lord, how one, without personal motivations, when one devotes all one's activities for the Lord and works in knowledge of Lord's supremacy, how one can attain the perfection of life. That Krishna explained it, this entire 5th chapter, and the verses of 5th chapter are almost over now. But still, Krishna is introducing 6th chapter now itself, because he is going to tell another method now, that is Ashtanga Yoga method. So next chapter is of Dhyana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga, but he gives introduction in this chapter itself of this. So so it's a review, or we can say it's a preview of 6th chapter, Ashtanga Yoga chapter. And the next chapter, Krishna will describe that in detail. So generally, people think that spirituality means what? Inaction. कुछ काम मत करो, बैठे रहो ऐसे ही. But somebody who is working day and night, somebody is going to office, maintaining a family, or doing a job, or going to college, they think, oh, he's not a spiritualist. As soon as people in, especially in India, they think of spiritualist means one who goes to Himalaya and does some kind of meditation. But Krishna is telling that is also one type of path of attaining supreme. But don't think that is the only path. In fact, that is very difficult path. This is more easy path. What is more easy path? That you work but for Krishna. Devote all your activities in Krishna's service, and in this way you can attain perfection also. That is a easier path. So karma yoga Krishna taught in this chapter. And Krishna says that there is no difference between these two, karma yoga and ashtanga yoga. They both are same. Sometimes people feel those who do karma yoga, they're all they're all low class, and ashtanga yogi people are very accomplished. So this has been concept in many historical ways. We see that, like for Naneshwar Maharaj, this one Chakradhar Swami came. He was a big ashtanga yogi. He thought this Naneshwar is what, he's not meditating in a forest or anything like that. What he must be having. So he wanted to show a lot of his powers to Naneshwar Maharaj. But Naneshwar Maharaj was, one sense, you can say, he was engaged in devotional service. So he could easily overcome, this Chakradhar Swami. This one example I remember. Similarly, yeah, there are so many such examples. Similarly, most famous example is Durvasa and Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj was engaged in devotional service. Durvasa was a great mystic yogi. He thought, I am such a mystic power I have. I had done so much tapasya. What Ambarish has done? He's simply a king. He's taking care of family. He's ruling the kingdom. He's earning money and he's fighting battles. What type of, he's a low class person, he thought. But then afterwards, Durvasa Muni understood, इन्होंने भी कच्ची गोलियां नहीं खेली है. This fellow also is equally powerful. In fact, he's more powerful than me also. Although he appears to be a king, he's not just a king. He's a king, Raja Rishi. He's a Rishi है. केवल king नहीं है वो, केवल राजा नहीं है. He's a Raja Rishi है. He's not just some ordinary person. Then he understood. Oh, don't take trouble with these people now, devotees. So in this way, Krishna tells that how one may achieve the same realization of super soul either through Ashtanga Yoga or through Karma Yoga, both ways. And when one is thus purified by vision and activities by Nishkam Karma Yoga, only then one can be king. Actually, Krishna is also telling that without this purifying one's activities through Karma Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga is almost impossible. So, because Ashtanga Yoga is so difficult to do, one cannot immediately give up everything and go. So that's why first one has to do some job, one has to take care of family. In that one should learn to take care of, this thing. One should learn to practice spiritual life and detachment, and then one can practice Ashtanga Yoga. So nowadays we can imagine the position of those who are so-called yoga clubs and all. They join. They learn only yoga asanas. They don't do any yoga. And there are so many people, who sit in the city, and they say we are meditating. You see in our temple also some people come and they just sit like this, meditating. But you will see in the next chapter, it is not so easy, to meditate like that, because our mind is so flickering. That's why that verse will also come. Chanchalami Mana Krishna. It's very difficult to concentrate mind. That's why first one has to purify one's heart by Karma Yoga. Then eventually one may take to the path of Ashtanga Yoga. It is not recommended that immediately one begins Ashtanga Yoga, because it will quick inside, quick outside. It will happen like that. One may go very quickly inside the Ashtanga Yoga, but will come out also very quickly. Oh, it is very difficult, he will say. So that's why Prabhupada tells, but apart from Karma Yoga and Ashtanga Yoga, Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada says, that is the transcendental position of liberation in Supreme. So, apart from, Prabhupada doesn't change his focus. His focus is always in bhakti. Because we will see that further Krishna also very clearly mentions Bhaktya ma abhijanati, Bhaktya tu ananyaya shakya aham evam vidorjana manmana abhavan bhakto. So many verses he will say ahead. So Prabhupada is giving us conclusion before all itself. Prabhupada is telling that, Krishna conscious person, he becomes liberated in Supreme because he gets these three realizations. What are these three realizations? One understands one's own spiritual position. One understands the Lord by devotional service, and one can feel the presence of the Lord everywhere. So one understands ourselves as spirit soul, one understands Krishna as the Supreme Lord, and also one understands that Krishna is present everywhere and I am servant of Krishna. I have to engage in the devotional service of Krishna. So by this one gets the transcendental position of liberation in the Supreme. Whereas in Ashtanga Yoga, it helps the eightfold means in the following in by how? By become free from all fear, desire, and anger, by control of the senses, mind, and intelligence, and one feels the presence of super soul in transcendental situation. That is the Ashtanga Yoga process. So there are eight stages. I hope you know them. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. These are the 8 stages of Ashtanga Yoga. And who is the propounder of Ashtanga Yoga system? Kapila nahi, Sankhya Yoga, Kapila is. Ashtanga, not exactly. Patanjali. Patanjali is the one who gave this Yoga Sutras and all that. But Prabhupada is again at the end of the purport is telling, he is translating this. Who is the best of yogi? One who is Krishna conscious person is always engaged in devotional service. He is the best of yogi. And whatever Ashtanga yogi achieves by great endeavor, the Bhakti yogi again attains that very easily. He says because Ashtanga yogi has to strenuously control his senses, pratyahara and all that. As Bhakti yogi, because he engages his senses in the service of the Lord, that's why his senses don't go anywhere, because they have got positive engagement. So what Ashtanga yogi and other these Jnana yogis and all, what they do is they do negation of the negative. They try to withdraw. Whereas devotee, he does positive, and automatically negative is taken care of. So this is the better way. तो चैप्टर चालू होने से पहले ही प्रभुपाद बोल रहे बेटर बी भक्ता, तो अगला चैप्टर का डिस्क्रेडिट कर दिया प्रभुपाद ने पूरा. 6th chapter प्रभुपाद has totally discredited in this 5th chapter only. He says better do bhakti yoga. They are trying to practice all this ashtanga yoga and all that. So that's how Prabhupada is very. Prabhupada knows that people in Kali Yuga, they will not take the trouble. Many people you see now we are reading verse by verse, but Prabhupada knows that some people they'll be so lazy that they will not want to read verse by verse and all that. They don't want to take that trouble. तो Prabhupada बोलते कि एक पेज भी पढ़ा तो उसको उनको कंक्लूजन मिलना चाहिए. उनको क्या कंक्लूजन है? भक्ति करो बस. ये कंक्लूजन भी मिल गया तो ठीक है. पूरा भगवद गीता, if you read Bhagavad Gita, it is best. That will help to boost that conclusion further. But otherwise, Prabhupada says that even if somebody doesn't read, at least conclusion pata hona chahiye isko. That's the compassion of Prabhupada. So that's why he gives that conclusion everywhere. So this concludes this particular this thing also, section also. Now there will be last section of this chapter, which will complete tomorrow. There are only, I think, how many? 2 verses? Only 2 verses are there. But very important verse. Bhaktaram verse. 1 verse only, na? Yeah, only 1 verse is there. Okay, yeah. 29 verses only. I thought okay, 30. Okay, so tomorrow we'll complete and then we'll discuss the Falashruti of this particular chapter of tomorrow. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Peace formula. It's a very important. Yes.
May not be that relevant, but here it is telling us that when you have to meditate, your half eyes should not be fully closed, you will feel asleep. And Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj also telling that, like how you can avoid that. So should we also try for this?
Yeah, if you can try, best half closed eyes. But sometimes they fully get closed. You keep them half closed. We can try. It is not a compulsion in our spiritual chanting and all that. But for a yogi, it is a compulsion. Because at least we have some positive engagement of chanting holy names and hearing. और योगी क्या है? एंगेजमेंट ही नहीं है कुछ, तो उसको ये सब बहुत स्ट्रेन करना ही पड़ेगा, नहीं तो उसको कुछ नहीं है. Meditate means is not joke, ना. At least we are physically uttering sound vibrations and hearing them. तो कुछ तो करने के लिए है. Whereas for yogi, he has to just meditate. So that's why for him it's a imperative that he has to be very properly situated. Otherwise, meditation is not possible. That will come in next chapter. We'll see what all conditions and terms are there. It is impossible for us to do that. Don't sit too high, don't sit too low, like that. So, that's why. But for a devotee, we may do that. But Most important is Prabhupada said just chant the holy names and hear some vibrations. That is more important than all.
You were telling about three things. One was activist, he understands his one condition. So what is third thing?
Third thing, Krishna's presence everywhere. Krishna is present everywhere. First is his own position, second is devotional service and Lord's position, and third is Krishna in every place. Fifth chapter was quite small because already third chapter Krishna explained Karma Yoga. So Krishna fifth chapter very briefly explains Karma Yoga.
That comparison of this different fish seeing and Buddhist tortoise meditating, and then the way you compared it with our chanting and then engagement, it is not clearly. It is not clearly explained.
But in purport,
It's just a statement it's given, but the way you compared it with the three.
only with the. Of course, we do this in our this thing also, na? FTC we are Darshana Dhyana Sansparsha. In that I quoted as such. जो follow up में this is one of the shloka for follow. How to do follow? Think about boys. Go to visit them regularly. That is seeing. Go to see them regularly. Visit them regularly. Think of them and touch them. Touch them means what? Engage them. Help them out and all that. ये application अपना preaching के लिए application है इसका. So from that I was remembering also. But here at least yeah, he himself basically Prabhupada is giving only one phrase for his by engagement in Krishna consciousness. That much is Prabhupada is telling. But how is it exactly by this? Seeing means see the form of the Lord always. Think means think about Lord. Touching means engage in this devotion. Touching.
Very nice example from nature.
This also we don't know also, but that tortoise takes care like that. Sure. You have video about it? Just भेज दो सबको. You have here now? अच्छा. That tortoise laying eggs and meditating.
It lays egg on the seashore and it goes up. And it was telling in the video that it meditates on that.
देखो है तो send it.
This is Vishnu Sahasranam.
क्या?
Vishnu Sahasranam.
अच्छा. दर्शन ध्यान संस्पर्श है. विष्णु सहस्त्रनाम में कहा
इसमें ऐसा लिखा है विद्याभूषण लिखते हैं.
इसमें तो विष्णु's name are not coming, but
ऐसे श्लोक है. Means I think in commentary.
commentary भी रहेगा.
यहाँ पे लिखा है ना. By this विद्याभूषण. ये श्लोक है ऐसा. इसके नीचे ऐसा है.
Yeah, सर्वदर्शी का explanation Baldev Vidyabhushan gives in this way.
ओके
सर्वदर्शी is one of the name of Vishnu.
उस कुछ लोग बोल रहे हो
उसमें एक और एक श्लोक कंपोज किया है।
अच्छा वैसे this श्लोक is by सर्वदर्शी मतलब वो विष्णु सहस्त्रनाम में शब्द आ रहा है सर्वदर्शी सर्वदर्शी तो उस पे वो
सर्वज्ञ सर्वदर्शी का एक श्लोक बना दिया। What do you mean सर्वदर्शी like this?
उससे अच्छा मेरे को ये लगा मतलब
This is Baldev Vidyabhushan only. He has given such wonderful commentary on Vishnu Sahasranam, wherein he tells each name of Vishnu how it applies to Krishna. Oh, ekdam sweetness, Krishna's sweetness he has brought in over there. The commentary is very nice. This,
वो थोड़ा सा अलग है
I have not read.
इसमें प्रॉपर sometimes
He quotes here quite often.
and vision दो ही कमेंट्री होगा इधर
Yes. As such, it seems that Ramanujacharya also wrote. Somebody told na Prabhupada, your commentary is same as Ramanujacharya. Prabhupada said, that's my credit. I had not deviated from previous acharyas.
Introduction also Prabhupada tells about he quotes Ramanujacharya and that meaning of Sanatana Dharma according to which has beginning no beginning.
बाकी